studios. This is After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Happy motherfucking long weekend Friday!
Oh, I love the sound of that. Welcome to After 9, everybody. It is Friday. The Victoria Day long weekend is here, and we should probably explain what the hell that means for our American friends and listeners. If you are in America, we know you've got Memorial Day coming up next weekend. We have Victoria Day weekend. Now, it's basically been condensed to May 24, and the reason for that is it typically falls in and around the 24th of May. In fact, the first one was on the 24th of May. That's why that. We also drink a decent amount of beer up here. So
especially on a long weekend.
Yeah, the 2-4 theme fits perfectly. In fact, our beer stores up here this weekend, starting today, are giving out free cups of mac and cheese when you buy a case of beer. That's the kind of nonsense that goes on in this country, in case you want to come and visit. And I think they're hoping you will. The new numbers are in. And the number of tourists from America in 2023 was only 85% of the levels in 2019. There's less and less people coming to Canada from other countries, Kat. I mean, to visit. There's lots of them coming to want to stay.
I was going to say, well...
Where my money at? Where am I staying? Fuck. In any case, there's some breaking news that's been unfolding this morning as we were getting ready to record After 9, and I just got to get it off my chest. I cannot believe that on his way to the second round of the PGA Championship, the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, got arrested. And not just a few minutes with the cops. They took him downtown. Orange jumpsuit, mugshot, the whole shooting match. Now, he's since been released. As we're recording, he's
officially out.
He's on the driving range as we speak.
Okay.
Ricky Fowler went over to him and said, "Hey, how you doing?" All he said was, "All good." That's all we've got so far is an all good.
All right. That's good for him, but that's got to weigh in his mind a little bit, whatever the hell happened this morning, which, by the way, we're still trying to piece together exactly what did happen.
It looks like he went around a cop, and the cop wanted him to pull over, but he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry you're dealing with a traffic accident, but I'm a player in this tournament. I got to get to the clubhouse." And the cop apparently jumped on the car and was dragged for a short amount of time. And I don't know who told that cop to do that. But in any case, we'll sort it all out when all the facts come out. It's just bizarre to me that they arrested him right before the tournament. His odds on winning now have shot up to plus 500. I got $25 on Scheffler to win this thing. So if that cop screwed up my bet, somebody owes me $25.
I wonder if that does affect him in any way, shape, or form while he's playing golf, because I'm sure that's never happened to him before. Being arrested right before a tournament, that's what I mean.
Kat, fuck, he's so good. He could probably break 80 in handcuffs. He could probably do it.
I think that would be okay, there's so many memes going around. You guys have probably seen a million by the time you listen to this podcast. But I think one of the best ones, if he wins this, would be how it started, which is him, mugshot, versus how it's going. And him holding up the trophy or whatever the hell the prize is for the PGA.
One of the things you're going to want to look for on social today, it'll probably come up in your feed. Now that you're hearing this, you're going to start seeing videos on Instagram of this event. You got to watch for when he made his return. Nobody saw him go in the front door. But when he came out the back door of the clubhouse and started walking to the range and the crowd realized, holy shit, there he is. He got a standing ovation would be typically reserved for when they announce the MVP at the Super Bowl. The crowd went absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
He's now a hero. Not a lot of pro golfers have got a record. It's basically Tiger, John Daly, and Scottie Scheffler.
Tiger did not get a standing O for his.
No.
No.
Way to go, Scotty. That's great. And good luck this weekend, because I'd really like to at least win my $25 back. We have a lot to get to in this episode of After 9, and Dave is not here, so Octavia has graciously offered to fill in. We are going to do some food hot takes. They surveyed people on a whole bunch of controversial food opinions. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the hot take, and we're going to weigh in on it.
We're going to be judgy is what we're going to do.
We're going to be really judgy. And in doing this on the radio show, a number of people texted in their food hot takes. We're going to include those in this. So we'll see how long it goes. This is probably going to be a Trudeau-free podcast, just in case you're wondering, and that's good. We need a break from that asshole. Let's talk about food. Octavia, how are you, by the way?
I'm pretty good.
You did a live broadcast yesterday.
I did.
First one.
It was scary.
Was it scary?
The first break was scary.
It's weird when you're looking at actual people. Like normally in the studio, it's just the three of us. But when there's customers and staff and our promo people standing there, it's a little weird because they're all looking at you.
It's different, and it's something to get used to, that's for sure.
I hope you're used to it. You're going to be doing a lot more of them, I think.
Yeah, we signed you up for a lot. I don't think we told her yet, did we?
We went through the ones we wanted to do instead. Octavia.
No, it's great. It's good to get out there because you gain a perspective. What I always like to say when we go on like location, you gain a bit of a perspective as to the people that listen to the show. Like, I mean, it really is amazing. And sometimes you forget as you sit in a studio, even doing what we do now in the podcast, you kind of forget until you see those DMs or you run into people. And I mean, now more than ever, I've never had so many people approach me in public being like, I know who you are. I listen to the podcast. I listen to the show. I love it. So being out there, I think will gain that perspective and understanding of how many people know Octavia. They will.
And they're going to want to meet you and everything.
Yep.
Hey, live broadcasts, maybe there's some young radio students listening. Do remotes. Do live broadcasts. It's a great way to meet people. Radio people do get caught up in a bubble sometimes. It's real easy when you're sitting in the studio to forget what it's like for people who are out on the 401 or the 403 or whatever. So get out, meet people, shake some hands, take some pictures, and have some fun. Enjoy your career. Ready to go, Octavia?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's do it. First one.
Sour cream and onion Pringles dipped in chocolate pudding is a good snack.
How in the holy fuck did you find that out?
Yeah, what were you doing when you discovered that?
Bottom of the barrel? Like nothing else in the pantry.
Sweet and savory. Could that be it? Or is this just someone who was way too high one day and made a poor choice?
Yeah, I mean, sweet and savory, I like it. I like a sweet and savory thing, but that's just a really random combo. I mean, that's, I guess, unless you have a school snack. Like, that's what I picture is like in your lunchbox, the Pringles and a pudding, and let's see what happens.
So this was sweet and sour, or sour cream and onion Pringle.
That's a weird one, though.
Dipped in a chocolate pudding.
No, I think, no.
Pringles are fine regular, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't need flavored.
No.
There's a hot take.
I agree with that hot take completely.
If you want Pringles, just eat plain.
Yeah.
You can't eat a cheese string without peeling it. It just feels wrong.
Yeah, you know what? That's got to be true.
Can I tell you something? I've never had a cheese string.
You've never had a cheese string in your life?
I've bought them a number of times for my kids, but
You never had 'em?
I've never actually had a cheese string. I used to watch people in school pull them apart, and I thought they were animals. They looked like those videos of like gorillas in the wild peeling the bamboo and shit. No, thank you. Why does it come apart like that? Why couldn't you just get a nice brick of cheese and slice it up? All questions that are relevant for the cheese string crowd.
You know what, though? Cheese strings are good snacks even as adults. They actually have a good amount of, well, there's calcium in there, some B12, a little bit of protein. Not bad. I think you should be a cheese string guy.
Do you feel good after you eat it? If it's that good for you?
Yeah, you probably don't feel bad if you're just eating one chease string. What difference is that going to make in
It just
life?
seems like a lot of cheese. Like if I was going to have
A lot of cheese. It's like, it's not a lot of cheese at all.
I mean, how many, if I sliced up a brick of cheddar, I'm wondering how many of those slices of that cheddar I would need to make one cheese string. It seems like a lot of cheese for one bite. I like a piece of cheese,
you
not a
don't-
lot of it.
Not one bite.
Well, that's why you peel
That's
it.
why
You have to peel it.
exactly. Put it in little pieces and play around with it on your tongue.
Usually
Did
when
you
you
do that as a kid? Oh, you missed out.
Usually when you peel something, you throw away what you peeled off. You don't eat that as well. You don't peel something that you're going to eat all of.
Well, then they got the little pictures on them. You're supposed to make whatever
What's
it was
on the picture?
front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a game.
It's a game, is
Yeah.
it? Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Oh, see, I'm taking it less and less seriously as a food. Like you guys are just fucking bored or something. Maybe that's what it is with cheese strings.
Another hot take, flat pop is really good.
I've heard that before.
Okay, so here's my thought on carbonated drinks. I actually don't like a super carbonated drink, and I flatten it a little bit. I don't mind some carbonation, though. Like, I don't agree that flat pop's better. Flat completely? Yuck. But I'm that person that will literally take my straw and do this and release some bubbles so that it's not too bubbly.
Why, does it give you heartburn? Does it hurt your
I
chest
don't,
or your tummy?
Yeah, I don't, it's like hard to swallow when it's that bubbly.
Really?
I find it hard to swallow. Nobody wants to burp every time they swallow something.
I'm going to cut that piece of audio out and use that
ahead.
in the future. That's great.
It's true.
Okay, so can I say then, here's my hot take. I'm not going to agree with flat pop is good. Some flat pop is pretty good. How about that?
Does it have to be like a Coke or a root beer or something?
If you're going to drink a flat Sprite, Get out of here. What are you doing? There's no point in doing that. A flat cola isn't the worst. Flat Dr. Pepper would probably be flat Dr. Pepper and flat root beer. I'm trying to figure those two out, if they'd be good or bad. I think flat cola is fine.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for processed cheese.
Yeah, like if you're making a grilled cheese.
Time never, place nowhere.
What?
No, processed cheese is garbage. Garbage. I mean, look, I know. Did I have a kid? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. But it's nothing compared to like good real cheese, you know?
What is processed cheese? Is that like when they make hot dogs and they just take like the lips and hooves? What is processed cheese? Is it the leftover shit that wasn't good enough to make it into the regular cheese? Where does that come from? And why do they put it in such a flimsy wrapper? What's the deal with that? It rips every single time you open it. Was there no better way to sell cheese that's processed other than in that shitty wax paper?
Yeah, I think that's why people aren't interested in it. Like everything about it is plasticky to me.
If I'm going to make a grilled cheese, I will consider using processed cheese. If it's between that and if I don't have any already shredded, I'm probably going to use processed cheese. Time and a place.
Ugh, yuck. Can I educate people real quick here?
Yeah.
Major differences between processed and natural cheese, if you will, or that natural cheeses have the whey, which is the watery part of the milk, pressed out of them. Processed cheese does not, which means processed cheese has a longer shelf life, which is why some people like it because it lasts a long time compared to your natural cheeses.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
It tastes fake and rubber. It's awful.
It's not great.
awful.
No. Why is it that color? It's strange. Regular cheese isn't.
That's not a bright color, though. It's not good.
What do you got?
Only people who haven't tried sushi don't like sushi.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, that's a good one.
Actually.
Really? I'm trying to think of anyone who's like rolls their eyes when I say I like sushi, if they've even tried it. I wonder that too. And also, I need to also let people know. There's a difference between sushi and sashimi, and that's what I think people get the most misguided about is, ew, you eat raw fish? First of all, there's some sushis that do not even contain raw fish, so
California
fuck right
rolls
off.
and
Why don't
stuff
you
like
go
that.
fuck yourself? Second of all,
Tell us
Boy,
how you really
yeah,
feel,
Get her
Kat.
on the
I know,
sushi,
look at
eh?
this.
Holy shit.
yeah, that's true. That there's so much more to it than raw. It's not all raw fish. That's not what it is. There's so many different types of sushi.
For sushi, I mean, I'll use my dad as an example. He eats a lot of fish, eats a lot of salmon, a lot of tilapia, a lot of haddock, a lot of cod, that
Good.
sort of thing.
Great.
Loves it. Hates it raw. Won't eat sushi. I've tried. I'm like, if you eat that, you could eat this. It's the exact same thing. He'll even eat smoked salmon, which is basically as close to sushi salmon as you're going to get.
Yeah, that pretty much is.
Nope.
Well, close.
Can't wrap his mind around the thought that it is raw. And there's some people who think they're going to get sick. You're not going to get sick.
my
People eat
gosh.
sushi every
All
day.
the
It's
time.
fine.
Yeah.
Sushi's great. You just got to know what you're getting in for. And I feel like if there was, this is another thing where there should be a course that anybody who's interested in becoming a sushi person should be able to go online and figure it out. Hey, here's what sashimi is. This is a California
Yeah.
roll. It's not sushi. This is sushi. Here's a roll. If they ask you, do you want roe? Oh, that means the egg's on top.
Yeah.
All that sort of shit. There should be an educational place that people can learn about these things.
It's true, and people assume like, oh, it's raw shrimp. You actually can't eat raw shrimp. That's not what's being served. It's always going to be cooked. There's certain things that have to be cooked because otherwise they're dangerous, but some are not, and those are the ones that are going to be served.
Sushi's great, by the way. I haven't had that in a long time. It's got to be good, though. Don't get grocery store sushi and judge sushi by grocery store sushi.
Oh yeah,
I
you gotta
love
go.
grocery store sushi.
That doesn't surprise me.
In a pinch, it'll do, right? In a pinch, it'll do. But you go to like the real sushi places and phenomenal.
Well, it's funny because whether you're in a sushi place or a seafood restaurant, the cooks in both places are called chefs. And even though they're not actually cooking anything at a sushi restaurant, it is an art to slice that fish properly and to get it presented right. I think that's great. I'll do sushi any night.
Cool Ranch Doritos are the worst Dorito flavor.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I like Cool Ranch.
It's for teenagers and rookies.
For rookies.
Is that why
It's
I
a
like
warm-up?
it then? I don't know.
I love Cool Ranch. What's wrong with what do you got on Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch is just, man, your fingers stink afterwards.
Compared to what? The regular Doritos are like the same thing.
No, the nacho cheese Doritos are fine. The Cool Ranch ones are just sort of there.
They're not even as messy as the nacho.
Even the bag is fucking ugly. I don't know. Well, it's true.
You are the oddest duck. Honest to God. The bag's fucking weird. What? What are you talking about? I don't like it. It's got blue on it.
Well, it's not that. You ever notice it when they do a Doritos promo? It's always with Cool Ranch. It's because people wouldn't buy it otherwise.
I think they do it because it's popular. I mean, I think that their nacho cheese is probably the most popular, though. I'm pretty sure that's the case. However, Cool Ranch has a fine flavor. Nothing wrong with it.
What else you got?
If we're going on the chip thing, I just want to throw it out there. Salt and vinegar chips are the best, let's say.
Okay,
Disagree.
hot take. Whoa, fuck. Where did that come from?
I don't like them either. I just wanted to spice it up.
Oh, got it. Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't like salt and vinegar. I don't like salt and vinegar very much. I shouldn't say it's not like I hate it, but you give me 50 different varieties and that's lower on the list for me.
Didn't you, though, perfect the art of salt and vinegar chips with red wine, the Miss Vicky's and
Malt, yes. Now, can I say that that's a little different? Miss Vicky's malt vinegar, sea salt and malt vinegar?
Yeah, that's salt and vinegar.
Yeah. Okay. In a certain combo, yes. But
when you add wine, it's a lot
when
better.
you add wine, everything's better when you add wine. It's not, but it really isn't like when it just comes to chips, when you're just like ranking chips as is, it's not high on my list in general.
I'll tell you, chips, I have some strong feelings. The best chip, if you really want to know, is specifically Lay's ketchup chips. That is the OG original. I have them in my house constantly because my girlfriend likes them when she's reading report cards. So Lay's ketchup is great. Ruffles are actually from hell. I don't know why they sell them.
Oh, really? All kinds of variety? What about an all dress? Like Ruffles all dress is like a classic.
All Dressed was designed by the dental industry to get you back in to see the dentist after you've cut the shit out of the roof of your mouth and your tongue. They're too rigid. It's not necessary.
Okay,
We
all
don't
right.
dip chips in dip anymore, so Ruffles is useless. Sour cream and onion.
We don't dip chips in dip?
No.
They still sell it. Like, what do you mean? Like,
but
you
who-
think people just fucking stop dipping their chips just because you don't like it?
Who buys it? You're social like me. You go to people's homes. Does anybody ever put out dip with the chips anymore? Because I never see it. There's usually some ranch for the veggies, but there's never any chip dip.
Your specific parties you go to.
I don't know. I haven't seen chip dip in a long time.
I guess maybe it was more popular. Maybe it was at one point. I couldn't tell you the stats on it.
The Longo's brand chips, decent, but now they charge way more for them than they used to, so they're not worth
I don't
it.
even bother with that shit, man. You can't. Nothing's as good as Frito-Lay. Like, period. The end. Like, their Lay's, nothing's as good as that. Doritos, nothing's as good as that. Don't even come at me with the fucking loads of shit from PC. Get that out of my face.
What is Humpty Dumpty? Is that Frito-Lay or
No.
Do they? The Humpty Dumptys were the actual
Now-
worst chips ever made.
No, Humpty Dumpty's the one that has the Ringolos, like the Ringolos and the party mix. I know that people do like the party mix.
Really?
Yeah, I think some people do. I've
It's just
seen it
people
around.
with weird tendencies. Like, oh, I can't eat too much of one thing at once. I want to eat it for a long time, just not much in every bite.
I love that we're coming up with like things that are wrong with people because they like things. Oh yeah, it's just for pedophiles. Pedophiles like fucking party mix.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Kid touchers love that shit. Yeah, go ahead and have some if you want to be a kid toucher.
Fucking murderers like Ringolos, okay?
I honestly don't know why they made those. I mean, yeah, I've got texture issues, but that's like next level. Like that's like put me on fucking Adderall or Ritalin or something before you give me one of those because I'm not going to be able to calm down.
You know what I saw the other day that I forgot about, but in elementary school they were everywhere? Hickory sticks.
Yeah.
Do you remember hickory sticks? I saw them in the store the other day and I thought, where the fuck did these things come from? I didn't even know they still made them.
You probably like
You know
hickory
hickory
sticks.
sticks?
Look at
Do you
look
buy
at her
hickory
grinning.
sticks?
She's dying to weigh in here.
I really like hickory sticks, and I know they're a pain to eat, but
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
I
like eating the
them.
bottom of a chip bag every time. I don't, but I remember liking them, or maybe I just had no other option at the time, but I had them.
It's like eating flavored matchsticks. That's what it's like. And it reminds me of a stick, like a matchstick. No, I can't do hickory sticks.
So what would your judgment on me be now that you know? What kind of person would you judge me as after all of these other
Okay, we've used
generalizations?
pedophile, hickory sticks, hillbilly. You
Fair.
are a redneck. There you go, redneck.
Yeah,
I'll take
redneck.
that.
You NASCAR watching redneck freak. I don't know. I can't group the hickory sticks, folks. I'll come up with something.
You probably like
Okay.
mullets, don't you?
Did your mom cut your hair? Okay, give me another one.
Mustard on watermelon.
Who in the ever-loving fuck text that in?
Right. That was a person that listens to this show and wanders around all of us freely in society. Mustard on...
How did that happen, though? I'm trying to think. No, sincerely. Like, how did that even happen? Were they, like, at a barbecue? And they had water... You know, sometimes people, like, they have the fruit at the barbecue. Maybe had a watermelon slice and it, like, accidentally slipped into the hot dog or something. And then they pulled it out and went, I'm going to taste it. And then they're like, wow. How does that happen?
It's a weird taste versus a very different taste. I'm trying to figure out if they could complement each other. I don't think either of them has the right profile to be in the same category as the other, but I'm going to say maybe. I would probably try it. And I fully admit I'll probably hate myself after I do because it sounds terrible, but there might be something there. Somebody listening right now, if you can afford a watermelon or you're willing to finance one,
Oh, no. Sometimes they slice them up and 2 slices are $4, Scott. So it's very affordable.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
when they
true.
pre-slice it for you at the store and put it on that styrofoam rack.
Oh, fuck. These stores are crazy. What else you got?
Someone else said Oreo cookies and cheddar cheese if we're throwing out the wild stuff.
Do you take the Oreo apart and put some cheddar on it, or do you take like a bite of cheese and then eat a cookie? How would that work?
I don't hate that, which is weird. Like, I'm just trying to picture with my taste buds what that's like. And I don't think that that's going to be awful.
I can probably think of better cookies to go with cheddar cheese, though, than an Oreo.
Okay. What are you thinking? Like arrowroot, if that counts as a cookie?
That's not a cookie. That's
know.
for you give kids that when they won't go to bed. Fuck.
You're gnawing this, kid.
Okay, Oreo with cheddar. Okay, that makes sense. Chocolate chip with cheddar or peanut butter cookie with cheddar might not be bad.
I knew a girl that did butter on a chocolate chip cookie. Like, she lathered it in butter.
How fat was she?
Not even, which is surprising. It just was like, you got to try this. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, the people who come up with combos like that are always the skinniest people.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. If I ate a cookie with butter on it, I'd gain 5 pounds right there on the spot.
While we're on desserts, can I give you mine? Cupcakes are not a good dessert.
I like that. Fuck cupcakes.
Yeah.
Finally
Are you on the
somebody said
fuck
it. Fuck
cupcake train?
cupcakes.
You know, I don't get excited about cupcakes. Like, I look at them, I'm like, there's too much frosting. I don't like the ratio. I usually find that it's even the frosting that's there is too rich, but it's too much. You're just trying to make it look nice. And although I can appreciate you wanting it to be like aesthetically pleasing, it's gross. It's gross. The bottom part is better than the top part.
Yes.
You agree?
I agree with everything you're saying.
Good.
They've been screwing with cupcakes for years. Used to be regular run of the mill. A cupcake was basically a muffin with a little bit of frosting spread on top.
Just a little bit is all you need.
Now they build up the frosting or the icing as high as the actual cupcake is. I don't know how people get that in their fucking mouth. What are you doing?
It's too much.
It's way too much.
Yeah.
The only way to eat a cupcake, I've discovered, is to cut it horizontally. And you take the bottom and put it on top of the icing, and then you make like a cupcake sandwich. That's the only way you can eat a cupcake and still be able to look in the mirror later.
Yeah. Even then, like, throw some of the frosting out. Like, I just throw it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Scrape it
dump
right
it
off
in the
and
garbage,
dump it.
and then eat then right in front of the person who made its face too.
Yes, exactly. Here's what I
would've
think of
been
your
me.
icing.
As a former cupcake decorator,
Octavia knows Octavia's
but I do
actually,
the same thing.
Yeah,
It's too much icing.
It's too much.
Another hot take, tofu is amazing.
No, it's not. No. You have had a lot of experience with tofu. I'll tell you, I've never once had it cooked in a way that I liked. It's like eating one of those makeup sponges. I can't do it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with like the soy-based vegetarian products. I grew up eating a lot of the vegetarian type products like your tofus and things because my mom's a vegetarian. So not that she forced us to eat it, but it would be there. So I'd be like, I want to try this. And some of it, fabulous. Couldn't even notice a difference. Tofu, I noticed every time it was tofu. Was not a fan. Tofu, stir fry, whatever the heck you tried to make with it, lasagna, doesn't work for me. Not good.
Oh, sorry. Are we interrupting you?
Oh, no, I'm doing work things, I swear.
Oh, are you doing work things? Oh, okay. Sorry. I saw you on your
She's
phone.
sending an
and I thought,
important email.
Oh, great. Love to have a meeting before the long weekend. What do you got?
Anything else?
Hot takes? Anything?
Sweet potato fries are trash 99% of the time.
Yeah.
You agree? I actually don't mind sweet potato fries. I like them because they have the aioli. Usually when they're served with the aioli,
You're right.
Not bad.
I think that I think that that's spot on. I like the idea of sweet potato fries. It's the execution. None of them that you buy in a store are good. None of them. The bagged ones are dog shit. If you want sweet potato fries, you need to make them at home.
Yes, that's true.
And it's a process. If you want to air fry it, air fry it. If you're going to put it in the oven, listen, you slice it medium thickness. You're not making shoestring sweet potato fries. You're making sweet potato fries. And they get a little soggy when they get cooked. So you got to crisp them up and you've got to cut them thick enough that they won't go soggy.
I do agree with that. That's true.
90 minutes in the oven, guys, 375. It's got to be at least 90 minutes or you're not doing it right.
Or it's not good.
And those are the shitty sweet potato fries. Are we good? Did we miss anything there? Are we moving on?
I think that's a pretty good range.
Have we given enough of our opinions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's anybody
Are we
left
getting
listening.
angry enough? Have we called enough people pedophiles yet? Next time someone does something or eats something you don't like, that's what I want you guys to respond with. You fucking pedophile. And it's because I like apple pie. Oh, that's another one for me. Hot apples are fucking gross. Apple pie, apple cobbler. Who are you people that can eat that thing and still walk around acting normal?
Yeah, I agree with you. Hot apples are not good.
Yeah, not good.
Did we ever figure out what berry it is in this new Grimace shake at McDonald's? Because it says berry flavored, but nobody knows what berry.
So on the McDonald's website, it does say blueberry syrup is involved.
Blueberry
Syrup.
But syrup, it's not real. Like, I mean, they're not blend. This is not booster juice. Like, they're not they're not blending real fruit. Oh, on that note, one more hot take that came in I want to talk about. I want to spend just 1 minute quickly on talking about the amount of people that like fruit better frozen. And I don't mean smoothies. I mean frozen grapes. Octavia likes frozen grapes as a snack.
Do you suck it or bite it if it's frozen?
You can still bite it.
Really? But it's frozen.
Yeah. It's still got enough, like, it's still just crispy, just more
It's not
crispy.
rocks.
little
Like,
bit of
yeah,
give
they
in
don't
there.
turn into rocks. That's like blueberries for me. I've done the frozen blueberries are actually quite good. Really good. My kid likes frozen cherries.
Oh.
In a bowl, just in a bowl with a spoon, frozen. I buy the fresh stuff. She doesn't want to eat it. She wants the frozen cherries. It's strange. But anyway, that was like a phenomenon I learned today is that a lot of people. So if you do like frozen fruit as a snack, you are not a pedophile. I think you're clear.
Oh, well, thank you for
Or a
stipulating.
murderer, sociopath, or rapist. You fucking rapist. Next time that happens, I'm going to do it. In a safe space, okay? Make sure you're around someone who's not going to freak out too much.
Kat, I may need you here to explain once again who Bluey is, but let's talk about what happened here. There's a business, it's called Dirt Dog, and it's located in Las Vegas. They decided they wanted to hold a Bluey event last weekend, and it was meant to be a fun family day with costume characters and face painting and games and treats and nice. It was free, and it was open to the public. They were expecting at Dirt Dog here that their regulars and maybe a few people from the local community would come in. Might be a good opportunity to expose the business to new customers. The problem is they didn't fully understand how popular Bluey is. And that's where I'm at. Bluey is an Australian kids show. Is that right?
Bluey is, yeah. It's a animated show, and it does hail from Australia. Parents really like it. I notice any parents I talk to that watch it, they actually enjoy watching it, which is a weird thing. When I don't know, for me, like I never liked watching the Wiggles that much. Did I know the songs? Yeah, sure. Paw Patrol, meh. I mean, fine. But with Bluey, there's actually there's some good content in there, good underlying things that parents get. Good storylines. The dad's heavily involved. And a lot of people really like that aspect because you'll find in a lot of cartoons, dad's not that involved. Dad's just kind of like, I'm going to work, fuck off, kids. But in Bluey, dad spends more time with the kids really than mom does. And mom goes off to work and dad hangs with the kids.
Finally, a relatable
tale. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a little more of a modern, like, we can watch this. It's got some good values in there, hidden messages. Stuff that makes parents cry, just like beautiful moments.
I like that.
Okay, so that's why people like it so much, is that if I'm going to let my kids watch any show, I don't mind when they watch Bluey.
Okay. Well, this Dirt Dog here in Vegas was not prepared for the long lines of people that showed up. They say they were struggling with capacity issues inside, and all the special Bluey treats that they had prepared got gobbled up by the first few people through the door. There also wasn't enough games, and there wasn't enough swag for the kids. On top of that, this wasn't an official Bluey event. You need to get the rights to these things. So, the costumes were really just like cheap Amazon shit, Halloween costumes and stuff. There were not professional face painters. It was just people there that volunteered to paint faces, like a kid's birthday party, for example, not Disneyland.
Right.
And it was free at a hot dog eatery, but parents were outraged that they brought their kids to this, only to find out there was actually just men in costumes and shit like that. Let me play some of the outrage from kids and parents after this Bluey event.
When I saw him, my best ignore him. I was mad. He looked like unexpected. We could like see his beard.
The kids were distraught. Some kids were crying. Some kids were upset, crying in their parents' shoulders. It was a very upsetting moment to see so many kids, especially my daughter, just really upset.
Now knowing who Bluey is, we would have planned ahead and would have had security. There would have been more door regulations.
Okay, that was a staff member at the end there saying,
Oh
we
God.
didn't really know
Whoops,
who Bluey was.
We fucked up. They really, really screwed up here, guys.
Just an ounce of research, and this all could have been prevented. However, they got the exposure they were looking for. Now, thousands of people know about Dirt Dog in Vegas.
Hey, there's that. But I would. I can't believe. Okay, it's a free event though. They had to understand. Like, anytime there's a free event, I don't know how there's nobody around them that was able to tell them, like, "Yo, if you're gonna do this, just so you know, like, people will show up. Anytime you're saying there's a free event and it involves Bluey, people will absolutely show up. Hey, let that be a lesson to people who maybe you guys own a store or something. Get Bluey there because people will go balls for the walls for Bluey. But just make sure that you don't have someone in a beard. My favorite's like, he's got a beard. It was weird. He smelled like ashtray. Bluey doesn't smell like that.
A lot of companies are trying to make the workplace a more appealing place on Fridays, particularly in the summertime, particularly before a long weekend. In fact, just the other day, we got an email from John Global there explaining the Fridays before long weekends. We can leave a little early if all the work's done.
Yeah.
Well, we can't leave early. We've got a show to do. But, the office staff and the behind-the-scenes people, many places are putting in policies like this because they don't want to lose staff and they'd like their staff to have a better work-life balance. There's a lot of reasons for it. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anybody go this far yet, though. The company is called Exos. It's a training performance type place.
Okay.
Their CEO launched something called You Do You Fridays.
You do you.
Everybody comes to work and masturbates.
It's a big old circle jerk.
Oh, maybe that's a different You Do You Friday.
No, I don't think that's what this one is.
For this one, employees get to do whatever they want. Whatever they want. They do have to come to work, but they can catch up on work that's like lagging from the week or that they want to get ahead of for next week. They can opt to take the day off if they need to for some reason, and it won't count against their time off allocation. The only rules to You Do You Friday, no meetings, no email.
Thank you. I don't ever, who wants to have a meeting on a Friday? Like, even any time of the year, like, especially
Rapists?
summer.
Pedophiles. If you want to be that guy, you go ahead and call a meeting on Friday.
People who would fuck a dog would probably hold a meeting on a Friday. That's what I'm thinking.
Here is the CEO of Exos. Her name is Sarah Robb O'Hagan. Oh, I should actually turn on the volume. Hang on a second here. Let's hear from the CEO about You Do You Fridays.
You do you. So you may choose to say, this Friday, I'm exhausted. I need to go spend time out hiking. Other people may say, Friday's my day to just do quiet work and not be disturbed. But what we put in place was you cannot email, text, write to any of your colleagues. You can't set meetings. It is You Do You Friday.
Oh.
Can we give this woman some sort of a medal or an award of some kind? Even just no emails would be a big improvement for people's quality of life. Now, it sucks for communication. However, you could always just wander down the hall to whoever it is you were going to email and talk to them there or pick up the phone and call them. Not even that. Don't fucking bother people on a Friday.
They're probably not even going to be there anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if you are working, probably everyone else that you would need to communicate with is probably not anyway. So this kind of falls to me under a lot more companies trying to give like a more mental health days. Because to me, especially when it gets stressful, people tend to work less on a Friday anyway. Like, I think we all notice that in our work algorithms, right? If I were to ask you to kind of summarize the work algorithm, Scott, emails definitely come in less on a Friday.
Oh, I would say so.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we're already kind of in that mentality of, oh, I'll leave that. Just today, I'll give you an example. And I didn't even realize this until I just said this. I did that. I have an IT issue with my account. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna call them. I'll call them on Tuesday because I'm not gonna be that person on a Friday before a long weekend. See? So naturally, I automatically kind of have this in my mind, and a lot of us do have that mentality of, fuck, I'll leave it for the beginning of the week. Which is why we always get jammed on like Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
All right. 68% of people agree with the following statement. 68% agree. A romantic relationship is only serious if you're comfortable talking about your bathroom behavior with the other person.
Oh.
68% of people agree with that. Can I tell you?
Tell us about your bathroom activity.
I have had 0.0 conversations with my girlfriend about anything that goes on in the bathroom. I don't want to talk to anybody about that. I don't even particularly like talking to the doctor about it.
What if you have
I don't want to talk to my girlfriend about that.
But you live with her. Like, what if you have a tummy issue? You just ignore it? Like, if you're in the bathroom for like 2 hours or something, you're just going to pretend it didn't happen?
No, I'll go down to the basement and she'll think I fell asleep watching SportsCenter or something like that.
Does it make you uncomfortable to talk about it? You can't just be like, I got some fucking diarrhea. It's crazy.
I would never in a million years say
seriously?
that to her. Why? Do you talk to your husband about that?
Well, I mean, if there was a situation where I was like, yeah, I'm sick, yeah, for sure. And vice versa for him. We've been together 20 years, though. I mean, there's really nothing off the table at this point. We've said it all and done it all and seen it all.
Right. I just feel like you enter a different area when you're talking about what comes out of your body like that.
Not when there's love.
I mean, there is love. I just don't think the love includes...
You just go, yeah, you're a human. It's fine.
Hey, listen,
I just don't see the big deal about it. I don't see the big deal about it at all.
If you're watching TV and a little fart comes out or something like that, we can all look the other way. No problem. But I'm not going to come out of the bathroom and say, whew, you should have seen that one.
Well, I don't think that's the point of this. I think more so about, generally speaking, only when there's like issues or something along those lines. But some people are a little too open, I will say.
Yeah, they share too much.
Too much. That would do that. They would be like, I took a picture of it. You want to take a look? Like, there's such a thing as too much. Absolutely. What I would say is leave it at the necessity. Like, of I'm sick. And if they inquire more, I'm sick. What more do you want me to tell you? Yeah. Like, I'm shit. I'm coming out of all ends. Like, what more do you want from me, right? But we don't need to be doing that, right?
We don't need to do that.
Only if it's a necessity, which happens rarely.
All right. A luxury supermarket in Florida is selling luxury ice.
Oh, okay. I've seen this luxury ice all over TikTok.
$29.99 for this bag of ice, which includes 8 ice cube balls.
They're very clear, and they have the squares too. They're very there's a difference between those ice cubes and like regular ice cubes, right? Octavia knows too. There's a difference when you look at them. If you own a bar or something, or you're just trying to impress people, I guess, that's when you would get these ice cubes for sure, because they do make a difference.
Why don't you just buy the ice cube tray? Like, I like those big, fat, round balls in my...
won't look this... Yeah, I'm saving that part. But,
I like those in my scotch.
So those ones the cat's talking about, that's like clear ice.
Crystal clear.
If you just make ice in the freezer, it's not going to be clear.
It's going to look like dirt.
My dad will make clear ice, and it's like a process, but then you don't get those weird little like floaty bits in your
no bubbles.
Drinks and
no,
whatever
it's like pure.
Yeah.
Was that a concern? Like, the scotch I'm drinking is like $60 a glass. Should I be worried about the ice that goes in it?
Yeah, what are you putting? You're not putting like tap water ice in there, are you?
No, it's Brita though. I've got a little thing that makes those big fat round balls of ice.
Yeah, it's not the same though. Did you see it? Have you seen these ice cubes you're talking about?
No, I saw the headline and thought, that's fucking outrageous.
No, you gotta take a look.
$30 for ice?
I mean, look, I agree with you, but like I said, it's really only for those really expensive places that sell the drinks, like the mixology type places maybe would buy into this, and people who are just a one-off, like just impressing people for one night. You know what I mean? Nobody buys this regularly, or if you do, then you've got like a ton of money.
We are legit out of time, but there's 2 more things I want to get to. What's going on with Ben and Jen? Are they done?
Scott, I've been invested. It's only been, 20 years of me being invested in whether or not these two would get back together or not. And apparently it's not going so well, guys. So here's what we do know. So this is alleged, I guess, but there is photographic evidence that he left a place in the morning to go to work, and it wasn't his house he shared with J-Lo in the same city. Why would you sleep over somewhere if there wasn't an issue? TMZ's reporting he moved out. J-Lo apparently got them into marriage counseling, and he doesn't like it doesn't think it's working. She liked an Instagram post about couples and relationships and toxicity and things like that. Why would you publicly like that with her own account? Odd. And she was house hunting this week. Now we assumed we didn't all want to rush to conclusions. Maybe she's house hunting for a friend. All signs might be pointing to they might be going their separate ways. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. There's a chance it could be salvaged, but neither one of them have commented on these reports, which have been ongoing all week, by the way.
I want to point out, though, that when they were together the first time and separated, if you'd told either of them at that time, you guys are going to end up together, you're going to end up married again, or you're going to end up married, they would have said, get the fuck out of here. There is no chance. We are done. And it took 20 years, but they found their way back to each other. And I think that that's the part of the story that a lot of people really like. Is
Absolutely.
That, they went off and they married other people. They had kids with J-Lo married a lot of them. And they had kids with a lot of people. And J-Lo again. They had kids with other people.
They had kids with just one other person. He with Jennifer Garner and she with Mark Anthony. That's
there was
all.
Another baby daddy in there too.
No, there's no other baby daddy for her. She only has the twins and with Mark. And when she was with A-Rod, they were fiancéed, but never wed.
He had kids. That's what it was.
He had kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact, though, that you can go and live your life and you've completely moved on, but then something brings you back together all those years later and it just clicks. That's a nice story. I'm glad that it worked out for them.
We were invested.
Sad that it's not going to work out this time, I don't think.
Well, I mean, and at this point, if you're friends with Jennifer Lopez, and this is true, let's say this is true, what do you say to her?
What do you say to her?
I know she always talks about this. She always says and right now she's taking a beating on social media too. A lot of people believe she's fake and she's making up stories about her being in the Bronx to try to be relatable and saying things that never happened. And this is from people who went to school with her. Allegedly, okay? Fine. So she's taking a beating over there. And her tour, we know that she had to cancel some dates because it didn't sell well and now it's a greatest hits tour. And okay, I kind of feel for her in that way because she's not a bad artist. I don't think she's a bad artist. I think she's a good actress, actually. Probably better than she is an artist. So whatever. I like the two of them. But if you're J-Lo, and if I'm your friend, I'm going, girl, just if this didn't work out, can you just please stop? Just stop. She just wants to believe so hard, and you commend people for that. I love that you love, but maybe it's just not meant for you right now. Let it be naturally.
The Victoria's Secret fashion show is back. They canceled this in 2019 because it was degrading to women, but now Victoria's Secret proudly proclaims sexy is back.
It'll look different though.
I think
they've already said it's going to be filled with inclusion.
Inclusion. Oh, what are we going to have?
They've
men
already
dressed
said
like
it.
women in lingerie?
I have no idea what that means for them specifically, but
be very, very fucking careful, Victoria's Secret, because if you change it too much, you're going to cancel it again. People will just give up on it. So I don't know how they're planning on doing it. Have you got any details on this? I just heard it was back and thought, women. I never used to watch it, but I know there was some who did like seeing women walk around in lingerie.
Well, at the time that they canceled it, they admitted we must evolve. We have to change. We're rethinking it. So they did kind of hint that it would be back eventually. In this case, they said they're okay. Do you want to read what they actually had to say about it?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Because I think you specifically said potentially it could have featured different. Oh, how different are we going here? Yeah. Ed Razik, who was the chief marketing officer, said that the show will not feature transgender models or anything. The show will remain as fantasy, but will include all different body types.
Good. It always should have.
Yeah. I don't think that's that much of a difference other than, yes, of course, include all body types.
Interesting. Okay. One more thing I want to play, and I don't know if this is going to be a hit or not. Sometimes it's hard to tell when music gets released if it's going to be a hit. I think I've got a pretty good ear for it. So what I want to do here for you is play what I consider an early candidate for Song of the Summer. You'll recall, and we had to wait to get this too. Do you remember the COP Climate Summit over in Dubai that we sent people over to a couple weeks ago, Kat, or a couple months ago? Yeah. So we, as it turns out, at that conference, set up a Canada pavilion for other environmental activists who wanted to hang out and have a little Canadiana in it. And they had to get some entertainment in there. Number one, it turns out that the $1.3 million that they said it cost, it turns out it's double that. Somebody screwed up in the accounting department. We paid several $million. But it was the performance that's got everybody talking. Did they get Drake? No. The Weeknd? No. Tate McRae? No. No, no, no. A new artist who happens to be the son of a Liberal member of Parliament.
Stop it. Stop it.
Who wrote a rap
No.
about climate change.
Oh my gosh.
And because it's
What are we doing?
the son of a prominent Liberal, and he got paid a lot of money to do this performance, let's give it a listen, because this might be huge someday, Kat.
Climate disinformation, get that immunization, the vaccine for bad meme infiltration, climate misinformation,
doing?
it leads to polarization, which leads to radical conspiracy ideation, simultaneous translation between conspiracy theories and violent means of change embracement, economic incentive.
Get that in rotation on the station now.
What is happening?
How much money did we pay this fucking guy to do that?
Why
He was
did-
reading it off an iPad.
Oh my God.
We flew him to Dubai to do that.
That's embarrassing. And he represented Canada?
Yeah, he was the entertainment at the Canada Pavilion.
Oh, lordy, 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 lordy.
He looks like, if I had to guess, I'm going to guess he's mid-40s, bald, but with a beard. He's just wearing a...
Oh, I can't.
Guys, have yourself a fantastic long weekend. We will be back with a new episode of After 9 on Tuesday.
Bye, friends.
Uber announced they will offer Uber Shuttle, which allows users to reserve seats in a vehicle heading to one destination, like an airport or concert. Those guys are amazing. First, they invent the taxi, and now they invent the bus.
Well, listen to this. Lego just announced a new 5,000-piece Lord of the Rings Fortress set that costs $460. Anyway, if you're looking for a line to end a first date, that ought to do it.
The NFL has announced they will have a Black Friday game for the second year in a row. It's the only Black Friday event that causes more concussions than Walmart.